Hi everyone, my name is Julie Anthony and I teach high school English at a Christian school here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And I have chosen Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. So this entire Shakespeare unit that I'm in the middle of right now is infused with several pedagogical approaches. Because Gardner's theory contends that if a teacher uses a variety of strategies or approaches, then more students can be reached effectively. So the actual lesson that you see the students in is in the second video, and it really is only one layer. So I wanted to come on with this intro video and kind of start from the beginning with how I layer these intelligences and how the kids are exposed to them and interact with them. So every year when I teach Taming of the Shrew, I start with a bell ringer conversation, and I ask the students to write down a few things that they think, in the context of marriage, what qualities each spouse brings to that relationship. And so I let them have a few minutes to write about that, and then we investigate what the Bible says about marriage. Um, I try to be very sensitive because I know that several of my students come from homes with less than ideal examples of marriage. And so this piece of the multiple intelligences would be the interpersonal. And so we discuss the responses for a few minutes, and then I pass out the play and the study guide that accompanies it. And I think the study guide itself is also a critical piece for this theory of multiple intelligences, because inside of it is not just multiple choice questions and summaries or things like that would help them, but inside it includes a sketch of characters and how the characters relate to each other. So it's kind of artistic, and it shows also how to keep track of what character is in what role, because you've got 3 or 4 characters in the first 2 scenes that are actually disguising themselves as somebody else, and that can be very difficult to keep track of. So I think this chart appeals to students whose intelligence is primarily spatial. In the next video that I have uploaded, you will see 4 of the students beginning to act out scene 1 from Act 3 in this play. And we do this often in the classroom setting. And I think the pedagogical approach here is that layer of kinesthetic intelligence. And because there's reading and some level of necessary interpretation with Shakespeare, it's also receives strong support from the linguistic and interpersonal intelligence as well. Throughout the play, throughout the play, we will pause and back up and try to translate some Shakespeare language into modern English. And this appeals primarily to students who are especially strong in that linguistic intelligence and enjoy the study of words in general. So lastly, before you take a look at the second recording of the students acting out scene 1 from Act 2, I want to mention that before we actually begin the play, I read to them a children's version of The Taming of the Shrew, and it just kind of helps them grasp what actually goes on in the plot structure of this play, and it sets the stage for a really fun time of interaction. So the next thing that you'll see is those 4 students acting out the 4 parts in scene 1 of Act 2. All right, so stay tuned.